Hey everyone, so here is my test run on my final project, just as a quick demo video. Don't mind my cat in the background there, we'll just ignore him. So we're doing a quiz app. Decided for my topic I was going to do it on Marvel. So here we have our app, so you think you know Marvel, and we're going to begin. Little toast at the bottom lets you know that you can tap anywhere on the screen to continue. So first question is going to be on Deadpool. Work with the mouth's favorite food, chimichangas, of course. So we're just going to go through here, and on any of these screens, I've actually made the entire background an image button, so you can click anywhere, it's going to cycle to that next page. On any of these, let's say we select the correct answers here, hit submit, that's going to forward on the score to the next page, take us to our next splash page for the follow-up question. We'll do a couple of wrong answers just to keep things interesting as well. Say I have no idea. I mean, had a dance off at the end of the movie. If you don't remember that, go back and watch it again. It's an amazing movie. You know who's running the show here, right? Fury himself. I might have given it away with the shield on that one. That was my bad. Question 8. Items used to create vision. We use a nuclear fusion reactor, right? Probably not. Great cameo moment. I had to include it in this real quick. In case anybody's wondering, Matt Damon totally played Loki for a minute there. So, once you've submitted your 10th answer, you'll get this page. You're going to get a tally of your score along with a message down here depending on how you did. So, just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown of the actual code behind all this. Oh, if you hit try again, cycles back to the beginning splash page. Also, if at any point during this, let's say I'm at question 2 or 3 or whatever, and I want to restart, if I hit back on any screen, it's going to take me back to the initial title screen here and just start from scratch. So it's not just going to go back one question, create any weird loops. It'll actually reset back to that home page and you can go from there. So just to show you guys the actual script behind this thing, just as an example, this is our final page here where we're tallying that final score. So we have all of our different messages down here in terms of what you're actually going to get. So if the running score value is between 0 and 3, well, including 0 and 3, you'll get, your final score is whatever that number is, and then output saying better luck next time. 4 to 7, you'll get you did pretty good, and 8 to 10, you get a great job, Avenger. As far as how we're cycling through, so I'll go to the actual main activity when we're starting. Just a quick on-click button with that begin button at the bottom of the screen there, which you'll see right here. So it's doing a listen to that to then activate this next method to go to the next page, which is our question 1 splash. So any of these that just have the image on there, those are my splash pages, followed up by the actual question 1 page. So if we went to the question 1 splash here, we'll then see that we have another method in here that's going to take us from question 1 splash into the actual question 1 page itself. A couple of things are going to actually happen as we get a little later into this. Oh, we have the initial toast to let you know about being able to tap anywhere and using the back key to restart. As we get along a little further, you're going to see that we introduced the integer of running score. So that's actually a value that we're forwarding between the activities. That way we can keep a running tally of what their score is up to that full 10-point value. One other cool thing with that is it's actually kind of set up to where when they're passing, I've named each of the intents in each of the pages by whatever that score is. So, for instance, on this one, it's going to be intent question 2 point, sending it from this one into the next splash page. If you go into the next splash page, you'll see, okay, we have an update score method that's called once we create the page. It's going to go and look back at that question 2 point, get the value that was in there, and bring that in to update it, and we'll forward that along with that next intent as well. So it works its way through, all the way through it like that. The different question types, we have the checkbox. So I have this if statement actually checking to make sure that you have the appropriate answers checked. If you have the incorrect ones checked, it will end up returning no additional points for you. You'll just get your equal score there. But if you have everything correct, you will get that additional point, returns that value, moves on to the following intent. For our text-based questions, so Dave is the answer that we're looking for here. We do have an edit text field that we're then changing to a string. I also force it all to uppercase. That way it doesn't matter what casing you use when you're entering your answer. It's always going to force it into this mode and make sure that's equal to that string, and you'll get your points for that. We also have our different radio button options instead. So we've got that radio variable here. Do our check in the middle of our coding here. Once we do that submit button. So each of these is actually triggered by the submit button on each page. It's going to do the intent to transfer to the next page, but it's also going to do the check on whatever answer you have submitted. So for this one, does your little radio button check. If it is checked on the correct one, which in this case, your dance-off one, you're going to get that score. And as far as the setup for each of the actual XMLs, pretty basic stuff. So that's really about it. We just have each of our radio buttons set up in a radio group. Buttons there, so it's going to only allow you to select one of them, and it'll actually bounce around if you try and do the other ones. So if I bring this other guy back up, you'll see we can actually try bouncing around. It's going to deselect that other one for us. So all in all, everything came together pretty nicely. I'm happy with how it came out. If anybody has any questions or concerns or any helpful comments on the coding, things I could have done to make this much more efficient, definitely let me know, and I appreciate your feedback. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.